Hello one and all, and welcome to Nordschleife, my favorite track of all time. And in this one, I've decided to become a delivery driver, so we're gonna be driving a transit van, which is a lot of fun. I actually have a bit of experience driving this van in real life, so it's gonna be interesting to compare real life to this Assetto Corsa mod that I'm running right now. And the one thing you've got to keep in mind with these cars is one tricky thing is that its rear part is quite light, so you gotta drive accordingly compared to any other car that I've driven in real life or in any simulator. Okay. We survived this one. A bit of a slide. That's what I'm talking about. The rear is quite light, especially if you don't have too much cargo at the back. And I believe this mod is simulating an empty van. So yeah, and having the cargo is not much better because it depending on the cargo. Like if you have something that can move around, it's shifting balance of the car. So we're quite lucky to have an empty van right here, right? So yeah, like it's a diesel Ford Transit from 2005, I believe. Needless to say, it's quite slow on straights, and also if when you're taking corners at high speed, it tends to ride on the sidewall of the tire. It jumps on the sidewall of the tire, which is which makes you panic a little bit in real life. It's not happening here for now, at least, so we're good on that part. I was thinking I could potentially do 10 minutes lap around Nordschleife, and hopefully the packages at the back, imaginary packages at the back, will survive this extravaganza. Because we're not handling them with much care, as you can see. Horrible lines throughout. This is a tricky couple of corners right here. With the normal race cars, I always have hard time going through there, because you don't want to drop speed too much. You want to keep the speed high, but it's rather tricky one. So yeah, I mean, in terms of visuals, this van from the inside looks pretty familiar. As I've said, I have a fair bit of experience driving this transit vans, so it seems familiar to be in this place. So yeah, I actually don't know. I was thinking that Top Gear drive that Sabrina Schmitz did. I can't really remember how fast she was, how long the lap took her, but she was an exceptional driver. So you know, losing to her is not a bad thing at all. And one thing also, I kept so-called money shifting, because I'm not using H pattern gearbox. I'm using the pedals on the wheel to shift, because I don't have an H pattern gearbox. So it was a bit tricky. No, okay. And the thing is, like right now, as the engine roars right now, that's what it's supposed to be. That's the sound that you should be getting inside the cabin for all the like regularly. That's my experience in real life anyway. It kind of feels muffled, the sound of the engine, so I was not too sure whether to downshift or not. So so I'm money shifting a little bit, but at least in this game, Assetto Corsa, it's fine to money shift like that. You wouldn't get into too much trouble doing that. It's just that you lock up the wheels and you might get yourself into a crash, but that's about it, right? So yeah, another long straight. Well, it's not a straight, but it's a full flat part of the track. But we're barely moving. Oh man, I wish like if there is any mods that has this transit fans but with jacked up horsepower and newton meters. I would like to try that out. It's feeling pretty slow. I'm not gonna lie. Look at it go. One more thing though. The advantage of this van, and it's a huge advantage. You know how on Nordschleife you cannot touch curbs? Well, with this car, you can. And there's not gonna be any consequences for that. No negative consequences at least, right? So you can take the curbs. They're not much help. I don't think you're gonna gain any time using curbs. But for this car, curbs are not death traps, so if need be, you can take them. Look at that. I usually struggle with the carousel, but with this car, I think this was the best carousel that I've ever done in my life. Because with regular race cars, I'm nowhere near good as I was here. It wasn't perfect, but it was miles better than any other car that I've driven. I usually go over the carousel and drive on the upper part, or I touch the curb on the inside and that spins me out. That's usually what happens, either or, So yeah, and when you're driving this car, the downhills are your friend. The downhills are where it's at. We have a bit of a downhill here going on. We're gonna get some speed in. Look at that, so much speed. This is probably the fastest I've gone so far. Look at that. And don't make me talk about the center of mass in this car. It's quite high. So you've got to keep that in mind as well. Oh, tire squeaking. That means I'm on the limit, right? On the limit of my capabilities or car's capabilities, I'm not too sure. But it seems like we're coming up to minute 9, and the 10-minute mark is gonna pass us. We're not gonna be able to do this lap in under 10 minutes, that's for sure. Are we gonna jump here? Are we gonna go airborne? Not quite. We're too heavy. I believe this transit fan is slightly over 2 tons. So it's too much to ask to get airborne on that jump. Here's another downhill. We're getting the speed, boy. Look at that. Look at that. This part is quite terrifying with high power race cars, but With the transit van, you're just rolling around, you know. Not much to worry about. Not sure why I started braking 3 kilometers before the turn, but no, I'm terrified from this car. I'm getting terrified, man. The second carousel. This is the easier one, so I never have problem with this one. Yeah, even with this car, it's quite easy. And last couple of turns that we're having right now. And after this, there's gonna be a painful drive to the finish line. Because again, this car is not meant to be going fast. It's meant to be delivering your packages, driving heavy loads from point A to point B. That's what it was created for. And now we look at the painful long section. Look how beautiful that car is. I'm not. Ooh, what I'm doing? I almost went on the grass there. Probably fell asleep while driving because it's too slow. Look at that. How slow is that, dude? Oh my lord. I probably should do a comparison between transit van and some like GT car, GT3 series car or something like that. To show you how painfully slow this is, mate. Look at that. And what time are we gonna get though? That's the most interesting part. We're coming up to 12 minutes now. Couple of turns left and we're gonna cross the finish line. Hold tight. Let's not screw this up. Look, easy curb usage. Easy. What's the time? What's the time? What's the time? Come on, come on. And the time is 12 minutes 15 seconds, .9.